I didn't have enough use. So
That's a game changer. No, there, I need it. It's not there. It's set. It's already taken it down.
Oh,
It's good.
yeah.
Would you credit it for anything that we don't feel allowed storage? I had a good. So I still like lose words.
You know. I just.
That we have unity on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's live.
Well, unless it's.
I think you just have
Maybe
to
another, we have
do the start.
like I thought it's broken or something.
Yeah.
Like there's a slash across the.
I could dig it up, all that stuff wouldn't be cool anymore. Here we go.
Oh, he's already contributing.
He's my bill.
So how does your miracle child get cancer?
Oh,
How
yeah.
does that happen?
I think that's a different.
A mass.
On camera, but we're not.
Sorry about that. Okay,
I'm not seeing it on.
you're not seeing it on. Says live. There in the corner.
It's just showing your name, it's black screen. Oh, you know what? No, hold on, sorry, I'm watching a 3-minute video that already ended.
No.
Before.
It says live, yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good.
We're good. We're good.
All right, yeah, there. Kim's got us on there.
Okay, very good. Well, hopefully the sound is okay.
I'm going to go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. I'm sorry, my voice is a little raspy. I've been on the phone a lot today.
Oh dear, okay.
But thank you all for joining us this evening. We're going to go ahead and do a roll call really quickly here. If we could, Angie.
Yes. Chair Dorsey,
Present.
Vice Chair Zwingley. Here. Richard Amici,
Here.
Diane Foster. Here. Sorry, I missed Lori. Did I miss Lori? No, I did not. Chair Zwingley, Vice Chair Zwingley, sorry. Brandy Morton is not here. Lawrence O'Keefe.
Here.
Mike Schultz.
We're
Amanda Van Arken. Here. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Chris West.
here.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you. Did everyone get a chance to look over last month's meeting minutes?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Any additions? Corrections? Nope. If not, do I hear a motion? Motion to accept minutes as is.
Second.
All right, motion on the floor, to accept the minutes as written. And there's a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
You opposed? Same sign? All right, the motion is approved, so moving, I'll go ahead and get this signed right now for you. And we have some stuff with us today. I want to thank you for joining us. Do we have any citizen comments?
No, you don't want to speak? All right.
Any citizen letters?
No. Nancy's not here.
No, no Nancy tonight.
Well, thank you for being with us this evening. Wonderful. All right, so we're gonna jump on and to our board member announcements. We'll just start at the corner here. And you have anything for us this evening?
I don't.
And you have anything?
So just a reminder, I think I talked about this last time, the Sherwood Police Foundation is doing a winter a toy drive in conjunction with the fire department. It's going to be a little bit of a competition, sort of a don't be crimey, pilfering from each other's boxes. We are asking the public to bring new unwrapped toys down to, for kids ages between 2 and, well, for kids of all ages, basically. And for the older kids, maybe something like $10 gift cards to Dutch Bros or things like that. And it's gonna be at Langer's from 8 to 11. And then also we have set our annual gala. It is going to be on April 26th of next year. For anyone that wants to know about the food, McKillop's is our regular caterer. They are going to be here again. So we really enjoy McKillop's. Tickets will go on sale for that in early January. We're aiming for January 4th.
On the toy thing, explain how the toys are gonna be used.
So the toys are going to be provided for, well, I'm not sure what the fire department's gonna do with them.
Our police department, how we're,
The
yeah,
police department, the toys will be divvied up to the officers, and they will go in the trunks of their cars and they will dole them out as they see fit. They may see somebody in Walmart or in a store or something and bring the family outside and open up the trunk and allow the children to
shop from the trunk.
shop from the trunk of the police car. So we want to be able to fill those police cars. We want to steal from Fulton Valley and load up the police cars as much as possible.
On Saturday.
That is a Saturday, December 9,
Okay.
from 8 to 11 in front of Langer's.
Is that the same day Santa's there? Pardon? Is that the same day they do Santa?
I don't know
Oh.
about that. I know it's their normal cars and coffee time slot.
Coffee, toy drive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the person who was a big donor for the toys is not doing it this year, so that's why we started talking about this competition.
Thanks.
But we need some officers to be present. Just saying.
Yep, with dogs.
Dogs, officers and dogs.
Can we train the dogs to go steal out of TV?
Oh,
Retrieve.
Retrieve, I mean.
there we go. Without destroying the toy in the process, because, you know.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. We'll look forward to that. Instead of waiting, I'll just introduce our newest member now. She's sitting right here next to me. This is Amanda Anarkin, and we had the pleasure of interviewing her a while back when we had one open position and we had some excellent candidates, but Amanda was up there, cream of the crop, and we were so happy to be able to bring her on when we had an opening. So we're very happy to have you with us.
Thank you.
I'll let you introduce yourself and say anything as to why you want to join the board.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Amanda Van Arken. My husband has lived in Sherwood since 2013. I moved in with him after we got engaged in 2018, and then we bought a new house together here 2 years ago. I have one adult daughter. She lives on her own. So it's just Kevin and I and our 3 cats. So, I work for the Oregon Department of Corrections as my full-time job. I'm a captain there. I've been there for almost 23 years now. And most of my work revolves around the prevention, detection, and response to the sexual abuse and harassment of people who are in custody. It's known as the Prison Rape Elimination Act, or PREA. So I'm certified by the US DOJ to conduct audits of confinement facilities to make sure that they're adhering to PREA. And then I have my own private business on the side where I conduct those audits as well. And that's pretty much me.
Welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you and your expertise and look forward to your input to this wonderful board of ours. Thank you. Yes, what have you?
I don't have much, which is rare. I was ready to take note. But thanks to social media, I keep track of my hometown, which is Truckee, California, infamous for the Donner Party. And they just had I keep track of the PD, and they just had a new SRO and did a nice little, what's your favorite food kind of little expose where he answered questions. It reminded me of what the good work we do with Sherwood PD and communicating and sharing stuff. So new officers need to get profile with all those important things like what their favorite movie and food and those sorts of things. And it needs to be blasted out across the social media.
I love that.
She can practice tonight when she introduces herself. That's all I have, Brian.
All right, well, that is wonderful. And I do, as you say, I think our social media presence has had a huge influence on a lot of bureaus because as it's shared around the nation, we're seeing people, seeing departments step up their social media game. And it's very, very interesting.
Not as good as ours.
I was gonna say, they're trying.
They're
but-
trying.
Second place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But we appreciate it, right? It's all good. It's helping those communities out, get to know their officers and build those relationships. So. All right, we'll go over to Larry.
I have nothing.
All right. No, it's just good.
I'm in for the winter.
All right, I don't really have much to say other than it's been getting darker earlier. And I know sometimes that makes people sad. If you're feeling sad, you should just drive through Old Town because all of those lights up on the tree, I just love it. You just see all the sparkles and it just puts a big smile on my face. So that's one of the charming things about our city I love so much. So if you haven't driven through at night, go check out Old Town.
Agree.
They put lights here.
Yeah,
They put lights up here for us.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
Red and blues?
No, just white. I was too late. I wanted to mix it up this year and I forgot, and then I saw them go up and I was like, oh crap.
That's awesome. Welcome, Mike.
I have nothing to report.
And I will go next, the theater. And I think, were we talking about that earlier, about the Sherwood Theater? That people got in there and.
Oh, yeah, a little bit before you got here.
Before I got here. Yeah, we gotta figure out what we're doing with that. I think Tiger's tearing theirs down,
I saw that.
building, I don't know if it's apartments, condos, low income housing or what, but.
Well, this is private property, so we don't have control over what the owners do with that property.
Can we tell them to put up a fence around it or something, just
It's pretty secure and we've been fortunate enough that they're allowing us to train in it. So we've done 2 training sessions with our tasers. And they're going to let us do some additional training, which is really good because there's a lot of things that we can get out there in that open space and still be safe.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a lot of theaters in there.
Are all the seats and stuff still in there?
yeah.
Everything's still there, like they just locked the doors, huh?
Well, no, the screens are gone, obviously, no popcorn.
Oh, okay.
Candy, nothing good. No video games. Yeah, so we're fortunate, so we'll take advantage of that while we can, just to get some, simulation training in and Corey's a part of that and a lot of that. And actually, I think both of them back there were responded to the burglary that we talked about the other night. So you do a good job keeping an eye on it. Yeah, until it's occupied or something happens with it, we'll try and use it as much as we can.
I love it.
Yeah.
I saw Washington County parked over there a couple nights ago. When I was headed to dinner, they were like backed up kind of behind it, so.
Yeah, people, it's a good spot for us to just go and sit and write a report or check something out, so. We'll do a good job.
Sorry,
What's
is
that?
there any idea if whoever did that inside there was local or from Portland?
No, I have to go. I defer to the smarter people in the room back there.
I think that the tagging is an interesting.
Yeah, somebody's got to recognize
Yeah.
that. So
I feel like I've seen that signature around somewhere. I can't tell you where I saw it, but I mean, maybe.
Yeah, we don't have any leads, but everything that we're seeing so far is most likely local.
Right. My son was talking about in the 4th floor boys' bathroom, last stall. Gang members tag that in that stall and communicate with each other. I'm wondering, are we taking photos of that before we get rid of it to sort of say, okay, these are the tags we're seeing in our community and comparing them to what we're
You
finding?
mean at like the high school?
The high
At the high school. Yeah.
I would assume so. I have not heard that, but
Right.
I'm guessing that if the SROs are aware of it, they would take photos.
Okay. Yeah, that's his favorite spot, so that's why he's like, I can't use it anymore, and it's always in there. Well, that was all I had. And we will now go to our regular business. Chief?
So this is, Amy, you want to come take the hot seat?
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
So, before she gets to talk, I want to let you know that, we were fortunate enough to, convince her to come to SPD. I don't know if we had to twist her arm a whole lot, but, she's a lateral, so she comes from another agency within the state. And obviously with the experience and she's just getting up to speed with the Sherwood way. And I believe, is this your last night?
It's my last week with.
Last week. So after this week, she'll be on her own, which is great. So
That was
she's,
fast.
yeah, so she's
Lateral.
up and going, and we are very fortunate to have her with us and grateful for everything that she's done so far and what she will pursue, with a career here. And so, thank you. And I'll let you introduce yourself and who you are.
So my name is Amy Lawrence. I've been a police officer now for 3 years. I've come from Silverton, which is a great community, very similar to Sherwood, which is what I liked so much about Sherwood. I was actually interested in Sherwood before Silverton, but Silverton was hiring, so that's where I went. Sherwood is really hard to get a spot in here. I've learned a lot of people want in. So just made some connections throughout the community, people who worked here, and kind of just fell in love with the department and just waited for my opportunity to get in here. And that's what I did. I was working with Gaither. I don't know if you guys know Mark Gaither. Used to be a sergeant here, motors here, I think. And he just go on and on about Sherwood, and he kind of sealed the nail in that, or put the nail in that coffin for me to kind of just, and he kicks himself every day. I just went out there and talked to him, and he's like, I bet you love it. And I was like, I do. Yeah, I started policing. I was a foster child when I was younger. Don't have a lot of family, but the most impact I had in my life was from law enforcement. And it was always positive. And so I kind of want to pursue that and be that kind of impact on someone else's life, especially kids. Interested in an SRO role at some point, detectives, mental health. That's another one that I'm really interested in. I got a great family. They've been super supportive. My wife was just like, what would you do with your life? I said, law enforcement. She said, okay, we're doing it. So that's been great. Yeah, loving it here. Love the people I worked with so far. Haven't met everybody, but I'm pretty sure they're all great. Yeah, love how super involved the community is with law enforcement, our social media. Just overall happy to be here.
Where do you call home?
I live in Woodburn, but looking to change that here. Move out this way. My wife works in Tualatin. My daughter does Tualatin Sherwood Sports.
Well, that makes sense.
So it just makes sense to move out this way. But like I wanted to move into a department and build a career here and a family here and kind of just set my roots down here. So this is just the beginning.
Welcome. Welcome. Happy to have you. Thank you. Anything you think the community needs to know based on your observations so far? Anything that we can take back to the community members to?
No, I think, everybody's super, just the officers, it's just a different environment here that I haven't experienced. And I've, done a lot of ride-alongs with other departments. So this is the only department that's so like communicative with their community members and with their officers. Officers do a really good job, especially social media, Paul, getting things out there when there's a traffic crash or even something as like the theater being vandalized, just the use of the communication within community members and the department is just next level. So I do appreciate that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks for coming out tonight.
Not that I want to put her on the spot, but we have a foundation member that wanted to just observe back there, so. She's also a supporter on the foundation side, Ellie Harris, and so she's.
Okay. Grab that big pink
She's
truck.
fun to sit and watch, but
Well, I always see like Brian's name on the list, but he's never showed up, so I guess I'll have to stay.
Never showed up.
No, I'm just happy to be here and observe you guys. I wanted to see what it was all about, so.
When you were there, I didn't have to be there.
Brian, can I just steal one more minute? You know, I already got the floor. Yeah. Or you just want to tell us how Miss B's doing, because I know everybody always asks. Yeah, any updates on her?
Still good. She's, I mean, what else there is there to say, right? I mean, she's, obviously Irma set that high bar standard, but, B is like right there. So she's, really good in the community, right? Everywhere I go, of course, people see the name on the car now, so that's like a big deal. Oh, there's Miss B, she's in there. And so people know that, like that's her car. She's learning quickly. Every new thing that I'll teach her, I mean, she just learns so quick. She just got this new ballistic vest from the foundation. And that's been huge for her, because now she gets to wear a ballistic vest like we do without all the attachments and stuff on there, every day. So instead of, okay, well, this might be a dangerous situation, then I have to swap out what she's wearing. So this is what she's wearing, and I can just get her out and we can just go. I don't have to worry about all that, but she loves her job. She loves coming to work. She loves people. She just loves it. I don't know what else to say, that she's doing good. Yeah. And she loves it. So it's gonna be sad to hand her over to someone else here in the future, but it is what it is.
Where is she right now?
She's out in the car.
She hangs in the car when you come in there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Sometimes I'll bring her in. She's got crate next back to my little cubby back there too, but I'll bring her in and she'll get to come in and see the officers and or they're writing reports and, stick her nose up underneath their arm. They're trying to type, but she's like, hey, pay attention to me. But, she gets that interaction too. She's one of us, she doesn't just like hang out and nobody don't associate with her, but she comes in and she just loves to be here. She loves to
associate with Mila? Or Mila?
I haven't done that yet.
Oh.
But she and Irma get along fine.
Mila's not here. Can she make an appearance?
Yeah. Yeah, up to you.
What's that?
Bringing Miss B in.
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
I mean, any chance we can see the dog.
I took his home.
I know. Well, you can jump to probably the next, because I know he's got to get her probably out there.
Let's get the traffic safety committee update.
No, you missed one. You missed item B.
Item B, annual report.
Oh, am I supposed to read this?
Well, because we need to let them know that we're not doing the SWAT reports anymore.
We're not?
No SWAT report.
Oh, no. Well, that's why you want it.
Yeah, so if you remember, we didn't do a SWAT. Did we do a SWAT report last year?
We did a report.
We did a recap.
Yes.
I think is what we're gonna do again this year. You're gonna stand up, Brian, and talk about what. Well, at least I'll nominate you when we're there to do it.
We can just,
No.
I moved there like a
There's no dinner.
We'll take care of it
Something in
now.
April for a volunteer.
I'll read it, but you don't have to write it.
Never mind,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
worry
sorry.
about
I
it.
forgot. Yeah, I forgot. We scratched that whole thing. It's just gone to April to an appreciation.
Volunteer appreciation.
Yeah, wait, what? No, hold on.
I know,
Now
we need to
confused.
rewind.
Okay.
Okay, so no board and commission dinner.
Got it. Okay.
It's going to be a volunteer appreciation function of some sorts.
Okay.
Is that right, Kim?
Well, now I'm confused because what's the December 21st? Oh, that's our meeting here.
Yeah, I put that on there because I didn't know if you guys, traditionally, we haven't had a December meeting.
Oh, right.
So I just put that
That's
on
what-
there up for discussion.
Okay, so yes, so the format that we're gonna change to is we felt like the boards and commission dinner got too businessy and not really thanking our board and commission. So now we just want to switch it to where we have an appreciation night to really appreciate. And then do you remember recently we had the chairs come and we had a work session with the chairs to sort of get the chairs aligned, the chairs of all of our boards and commissions aligned with the goals of the council so that each board and commission knows what the council goals are, the city's goals. So I think we want to be more interactive with each board or separate from an appreciation thing. So I think there's more to come on that, but yeah.
Got it. Is that gonna be in December?
No.
That'll be in April.
April will be the appreciation thing and the other boards and commissions. I think there's something coming up. I don't know all the details because we want to get input from boards and commissions prior to our goal setting session. Because while we want boards and commissions to be working on goals of the city, we also want to know from our boards and commissions, are there things ideas you have that maybe we're not thinking of that should be part of council goals as well?
So the December 21st thing is our tentative next meeting, is that right?
Right.
Okay.
And just if they're going to have it.
We're not even having a council meeting that week, so.
We're having traffic safety canceled there December.
Right, so can I move to cancel the PAB meeting?
And I second.
Got a motion on the floor to cancel our consider meeting.
Close to the holiday.
And the second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I don't get a vote.
All right.
Are you gonna object?
I would be working.
We will move our December meeting to January. So be sure that your calendar doesn't pin you to show up here like mine did. And I called
While you were-
and said, I'm on my way. I said, why? I don't know. Okay, I'll turn around. Any other points along item B?
So when's the goal retreat for council?
We don't have a date set, but we usually try to do it in January. So. She is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
It's like, I'm gonna stop right here.
The first person I see.
Yeah.
So is that her regular harness or is that her vest?
This is the ballistic vest that was provided.
Nice.
You smell like dogs.
So it's been a long time since I've seen Irma. She's bigger than Irma.
Yep.
Okay. She's got bigger paws too.
And Corey didn't touch on it, but one of the examples he gave with this vest that he talked to us about at the foundation was they had to get over some glass. And with the vest, he was able to pick her up and walk across.
Well,
He didn't have to walk across.
cross person, but
He just picked her up.
is this your toy? Do you like throwing at stuff?
She just likes to chew on it and squeak it. She'll play tug and stuff too. She usually play with this pink one that's in my pocket. But it's the same as the bite suit material.
She goes home with you also, right?
Yep.
So her and Irma hang out.
Yeah. I don't hang out every day, but
Yeah. So much excitement. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
it's so funny to see like her temperament versus like Mila's temperament. Obviously, they have different trainings, but it's so interesting.
What's on her,
Her high wire ear, what's that?
so that's a e-collar and that we have to have, that's just policy. We have that on there. I just got a different one for her. That's actually more like a expandable bracelet. That she was actually trained on.
What do you mean policy? Like, what does it do?
Have you ever gone to the chiropractor and got the stem put on your back where it kind of gives you kind of, electronic, like a whole station?
Oh, okay.
So, but for whatever reason, obviously, if we have to send her on a bite on somebody. She's supposed to release when I tell her to,
Okay.
right? But she has a mind of her own. So for whatever reason, she says, no,
You can.
I'm not going to. Then we have this to where I can get her to snap out of it and release and.
Okay, okay.
There's other ways of doing it too, but this is, I can do it real quick and get her to release.
I do what I'm told when I'm.
He is 4 now, right?
5, she'll be 6 in January.
Oh my God, really? Yeah.
how long, are they when they stay in service?
Depends on the dog. I mean, I worked Irma for 12 and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's. Yeah, so she could probably work till she's 10 or 11 or 12 too, it really depends on the dog. But the mouths, they usually last longer than the thicker chews. She could, but she's not showing any, because she's so young right now, she's not showing any of that. Once she starts showing some of that, then I'll start putting them in. Yeah, this was a newer toy that she just got for the month of October, so. Yeah, but just go and squeak it. Yeah. So, yeah, we've got that high drive that like, let's go. That's what we want them to do, we want them to be like, okay, where we're going and. Being able to track people down and find evidence.
What's the vest?
So this is nice because this actually has a harness that I can clip into and it goes underneath her back legs and then clips into these on the side. So we need to hoist her up somewhere, put those on and then hook this in the center and then it will lift her up. That's our
Balanced. Yeah.
Yeah, so that way, yeah, it keeps it balanced so she's not lopsided. So if we need to like put her up high in a higher, higher out it. Or lower her down somewhere, we can put that on and I can put the long leash on and then just lower her down. Yeah, but again, like this vest, it's so much more that we can do with this and helps keep her safer.
Nice. What is the best way?
It's really light. Yeah, it's really light.
I was gonna ask what these is.
These, so we just had her annual checkup and she was with that 70. Yeah, so this whole back slider was shattered and glass was everywhere. And so this is nice because this turns into one big handle. So I could just literally just pick her up right here. Up off the ground.
Right, okay. Oh, there. It's like, do we need to go? Do we need to do something?
We already did that. So that's what's nice about it. There's so many different functionalities with
The
this.
vest is ballistic, so it
Yes,
would protect her from.
yes,
Gunshot. Okay. Well, that's exciting.
that's awesome.
Good job, Nancy. Thanks for visiting us.
Yeah, she won't leave you alone now.
Well,
You brought me.
covered the dog hair already, so she's picking up on all that.
She does need a bath, but she's an outdoor dog. You're welcome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any more questions on the annual award appreciation meeting, and everyone's invited to that, is that right, or do we have a certain number at the table?
No, everyone is invited,
But it's in April.
so they'll be in April.
Okay.
It'll be like a big mixer instead of like a sit down.
Yep, and other city volunteers as well.
Oh, okay.
So I think it'll be all volunteers.
It was a great gathering last time around, and it was, I just wanted to see all the different boards and how many people really support the city to make it what it is. It's amazing, a lot of dedicated folks, so
All for free.
all for free.
All for free. Even council, even our mayor.
Yeah, even our mayor. Did you see the sign that was up on 99?
Oh, yes. Somebody must want something. I don't know.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, very nice.
Yeah.
All right, traffic safety committee update.
All right, so there were no new comments or complaints that were submitted, so we basically spent the time just talking about what's currently open. I know, right? Actually, there was one, but it was already an open issue, so it was just tied to that one and nothing much happened on it. When we talked about everything that's open, the big thing we focused on the most is the traffic that builds up on Elward in front of the high school during high school drop-off hours. It backs all the way up to the roundabout. When people are turning left onto Hayde, they don't use the outside left lane. So the inside one backs up and it causes the big backup. So there were some studies done and suggestions that were given to the school board to try and open up a gate on Kruger Road to maybe allow traffic to enter from that side. And the school board, or not the board, the district, is not in favor of that. They want to keep that dedicated for school buses. So there wasn't really any kind of solution that the school district was able to offer up. The end result was that the school district said that they would draft some sort of messaging to put out just to encourage people to say, remember, you can go all the way around and drop off behind the school. There's another parking lot on the far end behind the high school to try and encourage more people to go that way instead of just through the main lot. We felt that that wasn't necessarily enough, and the only real thing that we could do is offer to also put out a message from the traffic safety committee in conjunction, kind of along the same time that message goes out to encourage the same sort of thing. So we're responding with, let us know when you're ready to release that. And we're gonna, the chair volunteered to draft something up and release that as well. And then we're gonna shift our focus to trying to address the striping on Elward. Maybe because it's a really wide road, but there's two sets of doubles and just a big open space in the middle that isn't being used. Can we shrink that up and give a dedicated through lane on Elward? Maybe get people merging into the left lane sooner so that they can take both those left turns, something along those lines. Because what happens on the school side, the city can't control, but that stretch of road is kind of in the city's control. Although it's not due to be repaved anytime soon, so maybe restriping isn't going to be an immediate fix. That's still going to be where the focus is.
County? The Elward part?
The Elward part?
Mm-hmm.
So I know it is county further on. Is it county all the way up to that roundabout there?
I believe so, but.
Yeah, because I know we had to work with county to get the speed change there, which the speed has changed. That was.
I saw the signs.
Yeah,
When
that
did the
happened.
signs go up? Was it
The
kind of?
Monday before last.
Okay,
So
I
yeah.
wondered because I saw.
But either way, I mean, the city, if wanted to make changes, would work with the county.
Exactly, yeah, we put pressure on. And like I said, it's not scheduled to be repaved for at least 5 years out now. So it's, it's not like it's an immediate fix, but if there's enough pressure, they might look at it and certainly. But everyone's been looking at it. It's not like this is new and no one knows. Like the county knows, everyone knows that something needs to happen there. So that's the big focus. And then the other thing, in the last meeting we had here, someone had mentioned something about Sunset and there was some monitoring happening on it. So I asked about that, and they put those cords across the road that count cars and monitor speed. And basically they had done those during summer when school wasn't in session. So now they laid those out again to get some new data during school time. How busy is that area? But that's all part of, there's some long-term planning that's going to be done with that whole Sunset corridor. They're going to, add some flashing crosswalks over time, look at speed, look at what they can do to just make the whole Sunset corridor safer. So this is at the very preliminary data gathering stage so that they can start making some long-term plans, but there will be some changes over time. Again, a very long, gradual process to get there, but there will be some changes happening to the whole Sunset corridor.
Back when Mike Smith and I were on that was one of our issues. And we did the traffic count speed stuff back then, but it was COVID time too. And the high school wasn't built yet. So we wanted to, even though it was a problem back then, it was decided, let's wait and see what happens once kids are back in school and the high school's populated. So
we're at that stage now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any chance they're gonna make any amendments to that left turn signal from Sunset to 99 South? They have a big planner and that could have been a really
Oh, my
long.
husband said that every time we go there.
It's just like, they can't get over, so people are driving the bicycle lane if they want to go straight or they.
Yeah, so there's definitely talk, and this is all part of that long-term planning of 2 left lanes, maybe getting rid of that island, the Woodhaven intersection, maybe even doing a roundabout there. It depends how friendly the council is to roundabouts.
Yeah.
But that was brought up and, Trumbull,
Take input.
the road that comes on to Sunset east of,
Timbrell.
Timbrell,
That's my house,
Um,
yeah.
having a dedicated right turn lane. So 2 lanes coming down on the Sunset, one that stops and turns left, and one that's right turn only, and improving that crosswalk there. So there's definitely some discussion, but these are all, again, long-term,
Lot
multi-year
of stuff on the horizon.
plans, yeah. Down by the Timberline Church, they changed that. It's called a right in, right out is what they made that, because they didn't want people going across 99. So a lot of neighborhood traffic, especially since there's a new development that was built off that road there. Those guys are all coming up to Sunset and going left to go down to Newburgh through there. So that's added to the traffic. So that's why, 2 lanes there is probably going to happen eventually. Maybe even changing that where they put the right in, right out to a traffic signal there at some point, and that might be a 10-year out plan. And then there's even talk of from 99 turning left onto Sunset, dropping that to 1 left turn lane, just to make it so it's not confusing, because people on the outside lane get over and that's a right turn only.
Oh,
And they
then it's a
immediately
race
merge
to
over.
see who can get over. Huh?
Yep, exactly. So that might have to drop that, but that's even harder because that has to go to the state
That's
because
an ODOT.
yeah, 99 is state owned. So there's a lot of talk about how to make that whole stretch just safer in general. But there will be some changes over time.
I was gonna ask you about the Berkman 99 intersection. When there's a big subdivision that goes in like that, is there any talk with the people making that subdivision about? So like when Cabela's went in, they had to redo all the roads up there.
Yeah.
Is there any requirement that, hey, you guys are gonna be responsible for the cost associated with the traffic signal down here? Because ever since that turned, that changed, right there, because I live across from Middleton Pioneer Cemetery. People just go around it and still go across to make a left. It's actually more dangerous, I think, now than it was before
Yeah.
because of that.
I saw that happen 2 days ago. That's my morning commute as I
Yeah.
go out that way. And the exact same thing happened. They waited and kind of went out and then went straight across. I don't know. I know that Walmart in Tigard, when they went in, I was working in that area and they sent letters to everyone saying, we're improving these 2 intersections to accommodate our traffic flow. So I know that that's a requirement for businesses. I'm not sure if a commercial or if a residential development needs. to do
Yeah,
that.
when developments happen, they are responsible for some of the road,
There's has to be a traffic study that assesses it. And then if it's it depends on the threshold of existing versus future, but the big problem with Brockman and 99 is 99 being a state highway with limited access on and off, and that's gonna continue. They're not gonna put a traffic light.
And there's no other access to that neighborhood
No
except
way would they put a
Lab
traffic
Hill.
light break down 99.
99. And maybe Middleton.
Yeah, I mean, there is, I can't remember now, it's been a while since I've looked at it, but I mean, there are plans for the Brookman Road being a. What is it, is it a collector?
Collector Street.
Collector.
I don't know, but yes.
It may be now.
I'd have to go look at the plans, but there are plans for the Brookman, when that whole area gets built out.
But
Yeah,
that problem, go ahead.
It's become pretty dangerous, actually, because people are also not stopping at the railroad crossing there. And the stop sign disappeared for a while on one side of it. I saw that it's back now, but almost every day I see probably half a dozen cars at least just blow right over the train tracks and.
So
So it's
when-
not great.
Sunset was all messed up at Sunset and 99. That's when we saw the traffic going by Middleton and the graveyard and going to that way. And we had I was on the traffic safety then, and there was worry or concerns about the speed right past Middleton is when it went to county and dealing with the speed change and all that stuff. We looked at that and did some work with the county, but it's worse now.
I think the city or the county, they could do all the changes, all the perfect changes, and there's still just gonna be those people who wanna do their own thing. Not obey the law.
So there is one other traffic safety thing that I hear about 3 nights over dinner. A week, 3 nights a week over dinner. That is it Langer Parkway that comes by Home Depot into 99? So when you're people that work across from Home Depot, like the one that I live with, and she comes Langer Parkway to go home instead of going up 99 to Sunset. People coming off of Langer Parkway don't have little signs on the overhead traffic lights that say that you yield, exactly. They're going the other way. They're going from that little light industrial commercial park going on to Langer Parkway. They've got the signs up on the traffic lights about
Turn yield.
it doesn't say yield, but it shows that there's traffic, the traffic pattern. And I hear about it every night she comes home from work about almost getting hit and how mad she is.
Did you tell her where the form was to fill out?
Yes, I have, of course.
So that intersection's under construction, and I know, like, when you leave Home Depot and you're waiting to turn, it's down to 1 lane.
Right.
From 99. And I'm wondering if those signs are temporarily removed for that
I don't
reason?
think they ever were there,
Okay,
but they are if you're going on to Langer Parkway, coming across. But there's nothing on the lights that are on that light
when you're heading
industrial.
westbound, when you're leaving Home Depot and you're getting onto 99,
Yeah.
there's no sign.
There's
on
no
that side.
signs for those people that are either going straight ahead or turning left. To say, you got oncoming traffic coming that you've got to yield to. So anyway, I'll get her to put a form in, but
Well, I mean, that sounds like a safety concern, so I definitely would.
I heard about
So
it.
she's coming out of the industrial, like where Nature's Pet is and.
Yeah, she's in
And
a
then-
brick building that's,
And then, so she's coming across 99 next to Home Depot and going around to
yeah.
go
that's-
home. And she's saying that way there's no signs to tell
No, there's signs for her. She. on the-
for her, but nothing going that way. So
Yeah.
people that want to turn on 99 don't know there's oncoming traffic.
She has the right of way and someone's cutting left in front of her. leaving-
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Need to have some enforcement or something on there. I'll have her speak to you next time.
Sure. I'll hear about it.
I had one other thing on traffic safety. I saw they moved the. If you're going, where are we going? North on 99 by Massage MV and stuff. And it's about ready to change from 45 to 35. And the 35 sign used to be way back here and there was a bench in front of it. I had somebody call me up. He's like, speak to somebody about changing that. And I drove by the other day and they moved it closer to the intersection. So when you hit that crosswalk, it changes. And if you've ever been in Safeway or anything, it's like a little strobe light going off for speed cameras now. And it seems, hopefully it's helping change behavior, or
I think so, yes.
at the worst, general fund's gonna get a big kick.
Double the price right now too.
Yeah, the construction zone.
Right.
Yeah, it's been going on quite a bit. I think hopefully, there is, as I understand it, in the next few weeks, most of that north-southbound construction will be done. And we're gonna still be working on those little cutout apron thing, what do they call them? The kidney thingies or?
Thing where you can just turn the
You
corner.
all yield right turns out of all the things, or out of all the corners, are probably another year out, I think, before that thing is completely done. But north and south will, I think it'll go back to 45 here sooner than later.
Oh, God. We're canceling this month's meeting because it falls on Thanksgiving, and we're canceling December, so I won't have an update until February.
What's more for Gina? Ah. Yeah, let's see.
I will say, in conjunction with the comments about the pretty lights in Old Town, that's just a big, huge shout out to our Public Works Department, who just does an amazing job, everything. They're just like the silent people that go and put these lights up and keep our parks as pretty, and you're just kind of in the background, right? Just keeping our city looking as pretty as it is. So we have an amazing Public Works shop. We received our bids for the pedestrian bridge, and we're reviewing those and having some conversations, because the estimate that we thought 2 years ago, 2 years later, everything's more expensive. So conversations, it's not on, we thought we would be approving a contract Tuesday night, but it's not on our agenda, so not yet.
How much higher are the bids than what percentage?
I haven't seen the bids yet, so I don't know. I've just been told that they're higher and we need to have some conversations. So I don't get privy to see all the bids. That's the city manager's job. So, yeah. Also, we are putting in a letter of interest to Metro for a UGB expansion of Sherwood West. The formal proposal to them has to be in by April 5th, but our letter of interest is just going to say that in our formal request, we may request up to 1,291 gross acres within the urban reserve. That gives us time between now and April to say, do we really want to bring in all the acres, or what part of Sherwood West do we want to bring in? And where staff is working on bringing us some information on like what sections are infrastructure ready, because that would make sense to begin with places that are infrastructure ready if we didn't want to bring all of it in. So that is that.
And this is all the area west of Elwood and north of the high school, or?
So I am challenged when you say north, south, east, and west, like, yes, but where the high school is and all that stuff. So my husband laughs at me because whenever we go on a drive, you know, he used to have old road maps. And I used to have to turn the map so that it was going the direction I was when, and he just laughs. I'm like, so yes, north, south, east, west, I don't know. It was difficult when we lived in Hawaii and somebody would say, go west. I'm from San Diego. West meant go towards the ocean. In Hawaii, you're going towards the ocean no matter which way I was driving.
Malka towards the mountain or ocean.
Yeah. So, that's it. We've had a few light months on our agenda. I was just saying Tuesday night's agenda is one consent item to approve minutes. That's it. Not our meetings.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we do have 2 work sessions and 2 exec sessions, so we're still there from 5:30 to 8:30, but the business meeting has been pretty light lately.
Staff reports.
Are you ready?
Are we ready?
Yeah, are you ready for this? Yeah.
Oh,
So yesterday, sorry, I gotta switch to my other page here. Yesterday we swore in Lucas Spencer. He was our lateral, so if you had the opportunity to come, super excited, lots of experience. He's actually homegrown, Sherwood, but lives in Newburgh, I believe now, but so he's very familiar with the area and the community, and that was one of the draws for him. So I'm sorry?
Where do you come from?
Sherwood. Oh, county, Washington County.
Washington.
Yeah. So we're poaching from them, and I know it's bad, but.
Everybody must be upset with Sherwood these days.
So he's in hopefully the accelerated part of it, kind of like Amy was, get him through. He's even in a better spot than she is because he's familiar with Washington County and how the only thing he really has to get up to speed in is our report writing system and just some of the nuances of Sherwood PD, but so he should be out on the road here in the next couple of months, which is awesome. We have another gal that's coming as a lateral out of Hillsborough who starts December 4th. I said this in the last meeting. I hope I was right because you weren't here. I'm looking at you, is that right?
That
Yep.
sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Anyways, that first week, so we'll make sure we get the invite out again, like we always try to. Everybody's been getting those, right? We got everybody on and out.
It's on my calendar. I was still on a Zoom.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just want to make sure everybody's included. So if you have the opportunity to come, and then I already told you that Sheena started in evidence and is doing fantastic. And I'm gonna try and get her in here so that you can meet her as well. And then obviously some of the new people that we have, we did have a resignation today of a newer officer. Sad to see him go, but you know, for personal reasons and just career change for him, law enforcement wasn't where he wanted to be right now. And it just isn't for everybody. We know that. And it was good that he came to that conclusion earlier than later. And so we will be looking to fill that spot. And then I think I'm getting together with you two next week. We're still working on our staffing plan and what that's gonna look like and where we're gonna go from there. So that's pretty cool. One of the things when Court is in here with the dog and just how valuable the tool she is. We've been talking about technology and drones, and so we're moving forward with that with the help of the foundation. So we will have our little eyes in the sky here, hopefully sooner than later, and give us just another tool to utilize when we're out on the road. And I said this in our prior meeting, we are just, unfortunately, you'd think that, well, I mean, we have staff, but we're just running at minimums, probably like we haven't run in a long, long time. And it's just from unforeseen circumstances, FMLA, injuries, we have some military stuff that comes and goes. And I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it's kind of all hit us at once. So we're asking a lot from the officers and we're starting, it's around 60% of our shifts start at minimums.
Do we have anybody on sabbatical right now?
How about say we
No.
maternity?
Yeah, no, he's here. I just saw him today. Chris Pierce just got back.
Yeah. No, he's not on there yet. Sorry. I think he's the next one up.
In a moment, no. Yeah. I think, we may have talked about this last time. I think we got nine through somewhere around there. So it's been a great program. Everybody's really enjoyed it. And I think it's probably one of the best things we've done. Thanks for the support here and in council. And it's just, people really look forward to it. And I think people have come back and been very grateful and refreshed and ready to go. So, and on top of that, we had a sleep study. I don't want to call it a seminar, class, last month. We had a couple, PhD, I don't even know what you call them. People, I don't know, they have their term.
Professional.
Yeah, this is all they do. They just impacts on lack of sleep, impacts on how it
How is that, Mike?
Starting to fade.
Yeah, 24. So it piggybacked right on what we've been talking about and how the life expectancy of obviously law enforcement is shorter, and then you combine it with the lack of sleep, especially the graveyard personnel. You can probably speak to this as well. I mean, you're up 24/7 or late nights, and just graveyard people just don't get to sleep 7-8 hours at a time. They sleep 2 or 3, then they got to get up, and then they get a couple more. With law enforcement, it's always you got court, or you got held over, or you got to come in early, and fires. I mean, there's all sorts of stories about how it impacts you. The gist of this is, allowing officers to be able to take a nap if they need it in the middle of the night. And you go through these different cycles, and I can't even tell you what they are. I was like mesmerized. I mean, it was pretty cool to listen to them talk, but 15, 20 minutes and you're able to hit some of these cycles that are important for your body and be able to get through a shift. Obviously, it's not always going to be feasible because we're running at minimums. That's the downside. Equally as important, and I've said this to a few of you, is the drive home after a graveyard shift. So they're talking about 15 minutes or longer, your rate of being in a crash is just skyrockets. And they said, and I haven't seen any data, but I believe them, that the #1 killer of nurses and doctors is falling asleep after shift. So they've been up all night working and then they got to get home for these 15, 30-minute drives and they're involved in fatality accidents. So that being said, we have a handful of officers that are, 30+ minute drives to home. And I appreciate what Kim says, and I agree, they just need to move closer, but
Knowing that's not realistic.
we would love them to be closer, but the fact that they have to drive, give them the opportunity and encouraging them to take a nap before they head home. I mean, everybody wants to get home, especially if you've experienced graveyard, you just want to get home and get in bed, but you also have to take into account that you got to get there. And so we're looking at some different opportunities to implement something like that. So I'll keep you guys informed on that. But again, that was something that the foundation stepped up and helped out with so that we could have them come down and present to us. And we had a couple other agencies that showed up as well to learn about it. So you may hear about that starting to pop up around the metro area.
There's like a little sleeping area here in the station, right?
Yeah, so,
Right there.
yeah, so we're gonna work on improving that. You open that door and you find your way to the cot and you move stuff around, you flip it open and you jump in bed. I think we're gonna see if we can get something that's a little better, a little nicer. We have the opportunity out back, actually, we have the big lot back there and we have power and, kicking around the idea of like, yes. Yeah, and just making it kind of a good place, comfortable place where you can go and crash for just a little bit.
Better check zoning to see if those are allowed.
Great. It's like, oh, shoot.
You've been chicken water.
And then I think aside from that, and then we talked about it a little bit, obviously the construction zones they're going on and the cameras are up and so those north and south will be continuing to run. And then as the speed or the construction zones lifted, it'll all go back to 45. And the last conversation I had with some people over there, that particular intersection at 99 and Roy Rogers is about a year out still from being completed. So we know how that goes, probably be longer than that, but I think that is it on my end. Am I missing anything, Angie?
Not that I can think of. I didn't have any notes.
Okay. Any questions for me?
With the drones, I believe you said you were getting 2 before?
Three.
We're gonna get 3.
One's like an indoor one and.
So the 3 that we're looking at, the big one is kind of the all-weather robust one that can go up, has I think it's 41 minutes of flight time. But it would go up on a big event with containment, maybe car crash, pursuit, those kind of things. Or again, we want to look for thermal imaging and those kind of things. The other 2, one's kind of a middle ground. It can hit the Regal cinemas. It can get into Walmarts. It can go into Targets. High school. It can land on cars and be eyes on. Obviously great for gathering intel for us. So you can just put the drone down and it can watch a section that we don't have an officer. And as you know, like I said, we run minimal. So 2 people and a drone up, but at least gives us another set of eyes out there. Thankfully, as you all know, we have Taggart and Tualatin and King City that come and help us out quite a bit, but that's another good one there. It also has thermal capabilities on that middle one, so you can look and check and drop down under cars and smaller spaces versus the big one. And then the smallest one is really going to be ideal for schools and small hallways. The propellers, I guess that's what you call them, are in cages. So you're able to navigate through things and hit walls and hit things, and it'll still fly for you. And you can you can put it down on the ground and it can watch the length of a hallway in a school or in a building such as this. So lots of applications for their uses, and we'll probably get 6, 7 licensed operators for them, so that at any given time, somebody can come in here and grab them and go. And thankfully, because Sherwood's only 4 point some square miles, I think they all have the capability to fly the entire city from, here if needed. And it came up in the last thing, Lori, I think, was asking about just the battery life. They're all 40, 45 minutes, and obviously as technology advances, hopefully that will get better and better, but they have these things. I think we talked about this at one time about them switching out mid-flight.
Yes.
And didn't we think we'd be rich if we could come up with that idea?
In the air, others probably deliver.
Like airplanes that go and fuel each other, yeah.
But it's some kind of hot pack swap, but I mean, they literally has to come back down and go back up. But I think it'll be really valuable for us as far as a tool. So excited to be a part of that. Obviously, all the other agencies in the area have them. Kind of like the dog things. Sometimes people aren't available and we'll be able to go and assist, and vice versa.
The largest one did have a accessory for a speaker for crowd control purposes.
Remember, I think, so I did, one of the things that came up, and at least on one of them, Nathan Powell, one of our sergeants, has done all the research on this, and one of them has the ability to, add components to it. So down the road, you could actually put like OC spray on them. You can, Axon taser actually is developing so that you could actually tase somebody from these things if you needed to. So obviously that's going to be down the road, but that's kind of company they are. They're always out there being really creative.
In his research, does he reach out to the other communities and see what they use and what they are?
Yeah, so everybody pretty much is going with DJI. I mean, they're just kind of the standard of this, and which makes it nice because we can call Tiger to 12 and the county up and go, hey, we got an issue with this or troubleshooting. So we're not doing a one-off of some different company out there. I think the big one does.
Yeah.
But I'll check now that you mentioned that, because that conversation piece is huge for barricaded subjects or people that you want to fly into and have a conversation with somebody that you don't necessarily want to expose yourself or a dog to.
Yeah. Something like barricaded in a house even, you can put it right up against the window, see what they're doing in there.
Yeah, I can think of scenario after scenario how we could have always used those, so it'll be nice. Even to Regal, fly that whole building
In a matter of minutes.
Yeah, and like, set it down on the upper floor and it's watching for you while you're clearing the lower floor kind of deal, so.
So those drones have to be registered with the FCC. And there's sometimes that you cannot fly because the FCC has locked an area. Does the PD have a workaround for that? So for instance, I'm on the board of directors for Middleton Pioneer Cemetery. And we were gonna do some aerial photography, and it happened to be the same day as the air show. And even though that was a bunch of miles away and we weren't going over 100 feet, we still couldn't get the drone off the ground because of the FCC restriction.
I don't know. We'll have to find that out. I would bet there would probably be an exception for an emergency.
Yeah, I was imagining there probably has to be.
Yeah. I did not know that.
Licensed drone pilots and not law enforcement officers.
No, they're gonna be law enforcement officers. Yeah, we're gonna have to go get them. Yeah.
It's not that difficult. And the one, I have the smaller one, the DJI Mini 3 Pro. And that one you have a certificate that, you read and understand all the rules and all of that. And I think it gets under that restriction because people are able to fly those because of how high they cap it. And the fact that they're so small.
Well, it has to be, it's capped, like the FCC regulates them by weight, I believe.
Yeah.
And so the mini 3 is under 49
45
grams or something like that, unless you have the extended life battery and then it pops it over it.
Yeah.
But so anything under like 49 grams or whatever.
I'm sure we'll do our due diligence on that, won't we, Ty?
Well, when we go to get our licenses, they're gonna tell us what we can and can't.
Yeah, it's the one that I flew over here at that time.
Yeah,
That literally, we flew from here and I flew all the way over to Snyder Park. From the driveway here. And you could literally see the people on the soccer field, their faces, and I could have just like landed right in front. Yeah, it's crazy.
They have that model on sale at Costco right now for $850, I think. Like, I just saw it a couple days ago. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome, not to just stay on this, but we had a demo.
My wife's not
I
watching.
think it's called the Matrice.
Oh, yeah, that's big.
We had a demo and we put it up just out here in the back lot. And I could literally read license plates at the liquor store.
Oh. Wow.
Wait a minute, what night were you doing?
That whole parking lot, yeah, you just, anything in behind Taco Bell and all that down into
It was just right above the
it was
building.
right out here in the back lot.
So you didn't even fly over it.
Just went straight up.
You can just zoom in that far. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Big
Yeah.
brother.
Cell phone.
Yeah, that.
What was that?
Big brother, always watching. Don't ever think you have privacy these days.
Is that it?
I have got a question. Last month, we talked about some of the runaway incidents that had been the little plague of them that had happened. Has that calmed down? I know one of the young persons ran away again, but came home shortly after that.
But, I quite honestly, nothing has popped on my radar where I want, so I don't think there's anything of, that's been substantial as far as length of time or obviously any other concern. That's probably a prime example. They go in and then come back before we even sometimes get involved, yeah.
But it wasn't that sense of emergency this time.
Yeah, I can't think of it. It's kind of, as I said before, it ebbs and flows and that.
Get too close to the holidays to be messing with the parents.
Don't want to make. Drunk driving around Thanksgiving, football, all of that.
All bad.
All bad.
Don't do
Do we have extra patrols? I know we're running. I mean, that's what I was asking, but you know.
We've got special
You
funding.
just heard we run a minimum.
So, we actually do have grants from the state for DUI enforcement. So people outside of their shifts that want to come work, it can. That being said, I think there's maybe one or two that take advantage of it because we're asking a lot of people to come in and work and hold over and cover shifts. So, yes.
Washington County though,
I
doesn't.
can't give away all my trade secrets.
Yeah, sure.
So.
I mean, I've seen Washington County with different speed traps during the week, so they're very much present and engaged on 99. So I know that that's pretty much taken care of.
I feel you get a lot of input from the public too, when see something, say something.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think that the continued pushing of the public's input on that helps tremendously.
Well, it's just a challenge to drive up and down 12th and Sherwood Road without hitting a cone because, you get mesmerized. And so if you've been drinking, I don't know how you do it, but, so,
How many hours overtime are some of our officers getting on this minimum? Like, is it enough to be concerning that they're burnout?
So, yeah, I mean, we know there is concern of, we're asking a lot, we're burning them out. So we have a safety clause in their contract. They can't work over 16 hours unless obviously it's some extraordinary circumstance. And then they have to have 8 hours in between before they can come back. And, you know, we've been hitting that or getting pretty close here lately with a handful of officers, so. And unfortunately, it always seems to impact the graveyard crew the most.
Yeah.
Because they're either asked to come in early because of whatever's going on. You know,
Or
then-
stay.
Yeah, then they've got to come, then they got to work there until night and then all of a sudden they got court and then, you know, they got to come back. So, yeah.
And there's no yearly cap on overtime for officers like there is, I don't know about Portland, but there was for TBF and ours.
Yeah.
I'm in our budget, but even then.
Well, I think we can all appreciate the overtime opportunities and, you know, there's just so much, yeah, then you're like, oh yeah, you know, a few extra here and there is great until you're like, I don't want to pick up my phone. I don't want to answer it because I know what they want. So we're working hard and like, yeah, laterals are really where we're focused, I guess, to kind of circle back to the kind of the crux of this whole thing. Laterals are really important for us to get in here because they really cut down obviously the training time and can get on the road.
So that's interesting. Marion County Sheriff's Office has a RFP out for recruitment marketing. And we're looking at it, and during the process, you can ask questions about what's in the RFP. And one of the things I had staff submit was, are you looking at laterals or new recruits? And they came back and said, new recruits only.
Maybe they're wanting on the lower pay side for their budget or something.
It just, to me, I wanted to know so that, because it's different targeting, but that really surprised me. Washington County's out hot and heavy right now recruiting.
Yes, they are.
Well, it's sure what you said.
Well, they may also want new recruits because if anything is seniority based, like your shift and days off. The longer you're at a place, the more seniority you have. And so it might be harder for them to get a lateral.
Yeah, lateral gives everything up. So anybody that comes with experience, they go back to zero. They're lowest on the totem. Yeah, they don't get to insert themselves with their experience within our ranks.
Except for their sabbatical.
Yeah, except for the sabbatical. Yeah, they get time accrued towards that, but I guess for us, obviously, for a long while, I don't know why they would want all new people because
At least with what they're asking a vendor to do, there is only look at new recruits, somebody that may be thinking about going into law enforcement.
I think it's a longevity thing. So, 10 years down the road, your lateral's not going to retire, but you got a new recruit. Now you got 20 or 25 years if it works out.
Sure. It means my SIF for audiences like this instead of like this. And they don't have enough money to go like that. So.
it's a challenge for everybody. I'm sure it's the same way in directions.
Well, it depends on the location. There's some facilities that are really hurting and others that are fully staffed. But overtime is one of the big drivers for staff morale. We can't put a cap on how many hours somebody can volunteer to work, but we do have a cap on how many hours we can mandate them. So, but there's a lot of time that people volunteer for overtime every day or when they're on vacation. It's like you wish you could stop them because you know what it's doing to them, but
The money's good.
the money is a big draw, yeah, but at some point you get too tired to spend the money.
Yeah.
So gotta take a break.
Yeah, and you gotta live long enough after it's all done to enjoy it.
Their spouses can spend the money, don't worry about it. All right.
All I got.
Thank you. Anyone else? Any final comments, input? Do I hear a motion?
I move that we adjourn the meeting after all the excitement.
All right.
I'll second that.
Second, motion's been placed. This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you all again for the service meeting and coming in. Thank you to our guests.
Have a great
Yeah.
Holidays, everyone.
Without you. Oh, I'm sorry.